All right. Try 8.
Okay, so good morning, Chair Boschko and Commissioners. Mandy Sackett with the Surfrider Foundation. Also here to talk to you about desalination. In June, I presented information regarding Poseidon Water's long history of dodging state regulations, as well as information on their extensive water delivery shortfalls and ongoing chronic toxicity violations and other violations at the Carlsbad plant. Today, I'd like to update the Commission on those issues and present information from the San Diego County Water Authority's most recent annual performance report from the plant. So Poseidon is continuously violating the Regional Water Board's discharge permit and has done so since operations began in 2015. As a quick refresher, in 2016 and 2017, Poseidon violated approximately 30% of total chronic toxicity violations each year. So far in 2018, Poseidon has been cited for 11 chronic toxicity violations. And since opening, Poseidon has been unwilling or unable to resolve this issue. In response to the violations, the Water Board requested that Poseidon complete a toxicity evaluation to determine the cause. That report was completed and released this April. Unfortunately, it's inconclusive. It speculates that a confluence of polymer and chemical additives may be at fault. And remarkably, the Regional Board is considering resolving the continuous violations by eliminating this testing point altogether. Here you can see Poseidon claims that the toxicity violations are a result of conservative testing requirements by the Regional Board. They are occurring pre-dilution. The testing site is in location M001 in red, and it's before the brine is diluted in location M002. Once the brine is diluted in plant, the water samples no longer violate chronic toxicity limitations. So the reason this is all so important for the Coastal Commission is because in the coming months you will consider issuing the same company a permit for similarly designed plant in Huntington Beach with one important difference. In an attempt to comply with the 2015 ocean desalination amendment, Poseidon proposes to use a multi-port diffuser outfall rather than using in-plant dilution as in Carlsbad. Essentially, concentrated brine will be discharged directly to the ocean. And you can see examples of multi-port diffusers in this slide. If the Huntington Beach plant has similar chronic toxicity issues, and there's no reason to believe they won't, this may have a great impact on the ocean environment. We'd like to question whether the same company, one that is unwilling or unable to resolve these issues, is trustworthy enough to issue another permit. And now I'd also like to remind the Commission that subsurface intakes have a lot less steps in the treatment process and thereby reduce the amount of chemical additives that are needed. And I'm happy to share this. This is a peer-reviewed study. And so the alternative at the bottom of this graphic depicts subsurface intake process, and you can see that the treatment steps, many of the treatment steps are bypassed. And now I just want to touch on the San Diego County Water Authority's recent 2018 performance report for the Carlsbad desal plant, which spans from June 2017 to June 2018. Several water quality violations occurred in addition to the chronic toxicity. Poseidon received 4 notices requiring corrective action that include sewer, discharge, copper exceedance, and pH exceedance issued by the Encino Wastewater Authority, and also administrative issue by the San Diego County and Cal EPA for issues related to identifying hazardous materials and staff training. And then finally, a post-treatment event by corrective action issued by the Department of Drinking Water for failure to operate per operations plans. And then my last point is on reliability. So also in the San Diego County Water Authority's 2018 performance report, significant water delivery shortfalls were reported. Poseidon was unable to deliver over 10,000 acre feet of a requested 51,772 acre feet. In the previous year, the plant operated at similar shortfalls of 9,196 acre feet. So both years, the plant fell short by approximately 20%, and in the third quarter of 2017, operating capacity was at just 42%. Is this really the rate of reliability that we want to see and depend on for our critical water sources? The shortfall calls into question whether desalination is as reliable as Poseidon's marketing team would have you believe. The primary cause, up to 60% of the shortfall in 2018, was due to mechanical failure of the plant's RO, high-pressure feed piping in Train 5. Other causes include feed water quality, including algae blooms and elevated salinity, also SDG&E power outages, and other mechanical inspection and repair issues. So the water supply shortfalls resulted in payment from Poseidon to the County Water Authority of over $5 million from not meeting its supply obligations this past year. And the average cost of water for Poseidon this year was $2,511 per acre foot, which is much higher than Poseidon projected, and rings in at one of California's most expensive water sources. And so finally, I'd just like to make commissioners aware that the Carlsbad desalination is apparently for sale. Stone Peak Infrastructure publicly announced its intention to sell in August. And Stone Peak is partnered with Poseidon to form Orion Water. It's a joint venture that built, owns, and operates the Carlsbad plant. And perhaps the responsibility and expertise in actually operating the plants they build is indeed not within Poseidon's wheelhouse. As such, can they really be trusted to be designing and constructing them in the first place? For their proposed Huntington Beach desalination plant, Poseidon is still proposing outdated intake technology and providing an insufficient alternatives analysis, as you heard from the previous speaker. And I've said this before, and I'd like to say it again, with so many factors that can go wrong and obviously are going wrong, we need to make sure we can trust the companies we rely on to build these plants. Desal may have a time and a place, but not the way it's being done in Carlsbad, not the way it's being proposed in Huntington Beach, and not anywhere where Wall Street water companies are looking to exploit our treasured coast. Thank you very much.